But when people see his name, this is what I want to know, Jerry. What do they need to know about Sergeant Joshua Kirk, when they see his name on a ski lift or on a battle cross? I want you to tell me the characteristics that people need to know.
He was a good man. He was a good man. And he died for his men that day, but he would have died for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
It was, he gave his life with his men, protecting his men. And and indirectly, he did that for everyone in this country. And,
You say you come out here several times a year.
I come out here at least 4 times a year. And I never anticipated doing it that often, but it just kind of, I'm kind of disappointed that last year one of his buddies was here, and how I knew that is that he really liked stout, and somebody had a bottle of stout.
Did they really?
There, on the side of the stove. Yeah, it was half drunk. It was
Half drunk?
half drunk. Because if it had been full drunk, I would have been terribly tempted.
Maybe he was.
I mean, he died in a truck rollover out there, so they named the cop after him, and then Josh dies defending it, and then for the Run for the Fallen, their markers are one after the other.
So Josh dies at Cop Keating, who's named after another fallen Mainer.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. It was. I think it was Captain.
Keating, yeah. You're right.
So it's and my sister got to meet their parents when she was out here in 2010, and
Tell me again about dying a good death, Jerry. What does that mean?
to me, dying a good death is you die doing something that you're very passionate about, that you're willing to give your life for, that it was an act that you take that in a way causes your death, but it was your decision. It wasn't somebody else's decision, so to speak. You know, it isn't like an IED and someone's hiding and waiting for you to pass and then detonate it. You don't know that's about to happen.
Correct, right.
But when you step out there with a rocket launcher on your shoulder and a hail of gunfire, bullets going by in RPGs,
Yeah.
I think it has to be in the back of your mind that you're not probably going to make it out of that. It doesn't matter.
You gotta have your mind made up.
Right.
You're going in there.
You're going in there, you're going to do what needs to be done at that time, no matter what it takes.
And what the risk is, too.
Well, yeah, and you have to understand at that time, their machine guns were out of ammo. They were waiting to get resupplied. The enemy's coming at them. That was the only thing to take to them.
Yes.
And
he did.
And he did. And so that was the type of man that he did what was required to do, no matter what the personal cost was going to be about it.
Tell me about that stone that you found for this project, Jerry. Why did you pick it out, and where'd you get it from?
It was in the earth by the stream that he was born at, and it kind of just jumped out at me.
Yep.
And it just looked just right.
Yep.
And it's been in the earth of Maine.
Yeah.
It's obviously been run by water for a very long time because it's very well rounded and flat.
Smooth, yeah.
Smooth. And it's probably been waiting for me to pick it up for the last 300,000 or 400,000 years. So
pretty special rock now.
Yeah.
Pretty special stone now.
Yeah, and I told my I wrote in the Facebook that they says I told them, they says don't go out to Thomas, it's not there. Then I talked to my sister on the phone. She called me and I said, I'm going to get 2 rocks. I'm going to get a big one. She says, well, do whatever you want. I said, right, I will.
I will.
And
You made a special trip from right here from Kittery.
Yeah, well, they ain't far.
Yep, went to Thomaston, found that old house that he was.
Well, I grew up on that street. That's the thing. I grew up on Beechwood Street too, and
Wow.
her husband just happened to live another mile down the road.
Wow.
So that was familiar area to me.
Yeah.
Growing up, a kid, I was all over that area.
Yeah.
So.
And Josh knew that area.
Well, he was 5 years old when he's left.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that the stream, quote, East Branch River of the Oyster was, I bet he was down in there a few times, because it isn't very deep.
Yeah.
Especially during the summer. I'm sure.
When someone carries the stone that you picked up from the riverbed, I want to know what that hiker needs to do to pick up with Josh. They're going to be carrying it in his bag.
No matter how tough that days get,
Don't give up.
don't give up. Stay focused. Right, you don't like daisies, yeah? Too bad.
So, because that day was pretty tough with him in this 17 days.
Yeah, and I told him, I says, that's not a, my Bernadette, when many years ago, she says, I remember going on the top of Catania. She says, I remember it was worse coming down than going up because of she says, it really got to the knees coming down. And I says, I know, and I've climbed a similar type, hiked a similar type Mount Major. It's only 800 foot, but it's such a pitch coming down. And I had a staff, it just gets to your knees. Your legs are vacant. Your knees are killing me.
So Jerry, here's a hiker. He's carrying the stone that you picked out for Joshua. His knees are screaming at him. He's coming down from Toddy, and he needs to think of something. That hiker needs to think of something to connect to your point with Josh. And what does he think?
No matter how bad you think you have it right now, you're still alive. And that's what I have at work. I tell people, I say, I got this here, not only remember him, but to remember when I think I'm really having a really terrible day. I said, you know what? Compared to his day, I didn't really have a bad one.